Hola amigos, bien o no, y saludos desde Medellín. Hoy yo quiero compartir algo un poquito diferente, otro con mis libros favoritos. Um, es solo para mostrar que no es esencial siempre para leer con temas muy seriosos o muy académicos, para disfrutar la lengua y también para tener algunas buenas historias. Este libro, Around the World in 80 Days, Jules Verne, escribiendo en el año 1873, casi 150 años o más antes. Maravilloso, es un clásico. Um, este tipo de historias son un muy buen ejemplo con esta época, este tiempo, y también el, el estilo o el tipo de inglés que el utilizar aquí no es tan antiguo. Un poco diferente con la lengua hoy, un poco más formal, pero en toda parte este libro es súper bien, súper bien. Entonces quiero compartir solo un poquito parte con esto hoy y si tú tienes oportunidad, leer este libro. Es maravilloso. Okay, so hello everyone. Today I'm going to share with you a reading from another of my favourite books, truly a classic of its type, Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. It's the story of the legendary Phileas Fogg and his 80-day trip around the world. Now, this book was written in 1873, so nearly 150 years ago. I first read this book probably about 40 years ago. It's splendid, really is. So I'm just going to share a bit with you. The thing to look at with this is the type of English, obviously, we were using back 150 years ago. A little bit different, a bit more formal than perhaps we use now. But it's still very readable. It just sounds a little bit more polite, and some of the way people speak to each other is not perhaps the way we do it now. But it's a very readable style, and it's a very interesting look at the world of 1870s England, with all its character and faults. But anyway, it's a terrific book. It's fast-paced, lots of excitement, and a bit of a spoiler, generally a fairly happy ending. So let me share this bit with you. I'm going to read from chapter 5, in which a new security appears on the London Exchange. Phileas Fogg, in leaving London, doubtless did not suspect the great excitement which his departure was going to create. The news of the wager spread first in the Reform Club and produced quite a stir among the members of the Honourable Circle. Then from the club it went into the papers through the medium of the reporters, and from the papers to the public of London and the entire United Kingdom. The question of the tour of the world was commented upon, discussed, dissected with as much passion and warmth as if it were a new Alabama affair. Some took sides with Phileas Fogg, others, and they soon formed a considerable majority, declared against him. To accomplish this tour of the world otherwise than in theory and upon paper in this minimum of time, with the means of communication employed at present, it was not only impossible, it was visionary. The Times, the Standard, the Evening Star and the Morning Chronicle and 20 other papers of large circulation declared against Mr. Fogg. The Daily Telegraph alone sustained him to a certain extent. Phileas Fogg was generally treated as a maniac, as a fool, and his colleagues were blamed for having taken up this wager, which impeached the soundness of the mental faculties of its originator. Extremely passionate, but very logical articles appeared upon the subject. The interest felt in England for everything concerning geography is well known, so there was not a reader, of whatever class he belonged, who did not devour the columns devoted to Phileas Fogg. Well, there. We shall leave him with that. Nice short little reading. And it's a very small book. I mean, honestly, was it 200 something pages? If you're on a long train journey, you can finish it pretty well in one go. But something to think about. Occasionally, it's good to pick a different type of book, literature, poetry, plays, something different to that you normally read, because it helps you just get a different sound, a different type of language that you don't normally come across. Clearly, we probably have to focus on the stuff we're going to use more regularly, because that's the most useful, and we're trying to cut down the time it's going to take us to get to that fluency point. But as well as that, once we started to make some progress on that project, it's as well to try and pick from different sources as far as we're able, because that all adds to it. You know, the language is a living thing, so the more aspects of it you can look at, the more enjoyable it's going to be. That's my tip for the day. So for now, from Medellin, we'll say cheerio.